Booyah. So we are making some honey barbecue ribs. Oh shoot. And we are doing a cooking video because the fans like that shit. But check this out, we got some St. Louis style pork spare ribs with the bone in. First thing we're gonna do is open it, drain it, and get it onto our tray. The only thing it's missing is butter. To be honest, I don't have any butter off the top of my hand, but that's all right. Drain all that blood out. Oh yes. No shit. We got the oven preheated to 420 plus. There's our ribs. I'm gonna go ahead and tenderize it. Take a fork. It's been de-thawed to room temperature. Take these pork ribs and just stab it with the fork. I stab you with my fork. And tenderize it and stab it with the fork at the same time. There we go. All right, so into our sauce. I'm gonna throw in some Bud Light. A little bit of Bud Light. Some Payne Rusk County all meat seasoning. A little bit of that. Then we're gonna add a bunch of stuff. We're gonna add some honey chipotle barbecue rub. A little bit of that. We're gonna add some liquid smoke. A couple drops of that, liquid smoke in there. Some bone sucking steak season rub. That'll cover it for our seasoning. Yes, sir. Now we got these, this is a 2-minute marinade steakhouse kind of deal. I'm gonna throw it into our seasoning mixture. That's tasty. I'll just do it just nicely. And pour some of that in there. A little bit of that. Now we're gonna add our that same honey habanero hot sauce we used, or the honey mustard. Some Melinda's habanero honey mustard. And then we're just gonna throw in like some leftover McDonald's honey packets that I have laying around. It's honey, so why let that go to waste? Nope. And then I'm gonna throw in like 5 of these honey packets that I have left over from McDonald's. Not quite sure how many teaspoons of honey this is. Who cares? Pour all those packets of honey in there. You can use whatever honey you like. This is the only honey I had on hand. It's like I don't want it just sitting in my fridge going to waste. There we go. So we got a couple of ketchup packets. It's gonna be much easier than the honey. Squeeze it into our bowl. It's basically this off-brand McDonald's ketchup and freaking whatever this company is. Sometimes when I order fast food, they give me extra packets of sauce. So I save the packets of sauce for like recipes or for like using on other things. And not a sponsor. I'm gonna use the top of the stove, plug in my phone charger, get this old 70s stove, bitch in, and use that to charge my phone. There we go. Now we're gonna stir that sauce around. We're gonna stir that sauce around. Stir the sauce right there. Stupid fucking phone. But yeah, we're gonna stir the sauce. Now all those ingredients, the honey, all the sauces, and the beer. Not sure how this is gonna turn out, but we're gonna base this onto our ribs, and then we're gonna throw it in the oven, let it bake. It's a little bit thick, a little bit runny, a little bit thick. That's just fine. I'll splash more beer to that. Beep. That's all we need. Can crush for barbecue ribs. Yes. So I'm gonna just pour it all over these ribs. I'm gonna pour this sauce just right all over the ribs. Soak these motherfuckers, man. And all that beer sauce mixture. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, when I got my spoon, make sure we get it all over the fucking ribs here, huh? These ribs barely fit the baking sheet or the baking tray, so it's gonna be a tight squeeze. Oh, that's a heavy son of a bitch. Yeehaw. Let's pour a little bit of that sauce into the sink. We don't need all of it. Beautiful. Oh shoot, we got a low battery. Now they go in the oven for a good 45 to 48 minutes. You see those ribs? Like I paid like 15, 16 bucks for this rack, and it barely fits your standard baking. Oh, look at that. That's just beautiful, isn't it? Yes. Got our oven preheated to 420 plus. The only thing's missing was butter, but that's just alright. There's not fat in that pork. It won't be necessary. But look, there it is. There's our rack of pork ribs with the bone, baby. I didn't pour all the sauce out, just enough so that the bottom and the top were glazed. Oh, doesn't that look good? Now, we wait, YouTube. Barbecue ribs. Cheers, YouTube. Let's see how these turn out. I've only done ribs like once, so I guess this will be a honey barbecue version with like a little bit of chipotle and a little bit of beer. There we go. I'll check back with you in a minute. See when the ribs are done. Ribs, baby. I got them out of the oven. I cut them into sections. Cut the tin foil off. Let that pan cool off. Get the grease cleaned off. But look at those ribs, baby. Beautiful. I'm gonna eat this one right here. Beautiful ribs. Flavor? We're about to find out how them Cobra ribs do, man. Habanero, chipotle, barbecue, mustard, just all kinds of crazy fucking goodness in these ribs. They look delicious, they smell good, and it's cracked up on a Bud Light. Part one of the ribs, I showed you how to make the sauce, how I did it. Let's see how it do. Oh, fuck me, those are good. Oh, YouTube, took a couple bites of them ribs. Look at that steam action. Fresh rib action, baby. YouTube, I would make these again. For being on the spot, I had no idea what the hell I was doing as far as how to make the sauce. I've seen a couple of basic barbecue recipes. So I just do it together based off my basic knowledge of barbecue. Look how tender that is. That just came right off the bone. The sugar from all the honey caramelized on top of the rib, yes. Spicy, sweet, and savory. The only thing I would add to that barbecue sauce if I redid it, when I made these ribs, if I make them again, is it adds like a little bit of melted butter. Other than that, do these ribs turned out dank. I pretty much turned off the stove during the Blair White rant, and then turned it back on afterwards, so they wouldn't overcook. That sauce caramelized to the top of the rib. These are good. I probably could try to make this into a wonton. Probably not. That barbecue sauce that I kind of made on the spot in the last part one of this rib video here. Got all crispy and chewy from the outside with that gristle effect. Look at those ribs. Rib action, baby. YouTube, I slapped 4 of them ribs in my stomach. Yo. I would definitely make these again, dude. If I'm not having any barbecue sauce on hand or any butter, how I normally do my ribs, these turn out dank. Part 2, baby. They were fresh out of the oven. Yes. Catch you laters.